Welcome back to the channel, everybody, and welcome back to Walla Zabareska, episode number 35 we're on, believe it or not. And we have moved into March, although you wouldn't think it when you look at the weather. And it is sowing season, and I don't think it affects us putting the crop in the ground. I'm okay, going to catch the fence. Here we go. I don't think it'll affect us putting the crop in the ground. We've quite a bit of work to do, and we've 10 fields to get sown. In total, it'll be 12 fields, but 2 of them are combined down at the pig fields, where we're sowing sugar beet and corn down there. But over between March and April, we got the 10 fields to get done. This is our first field here. This is our wheat field. So we're going with the crop rotation we had. So wheat had to go in here. The only alteration we made to the crop rotation lists we had done was for field number 177. It was meant to be spinach, but we may not have a spinach harvester, so I just moved on to the next crop on that. And when we can afford a spinach harvester, we'll do spinach in that field. It's only a small field, so instead of spinach we have mustard, which is a new crop to us. So other than the wheat going in here, we have spelt, sunflowers, lentils, soybeans, corn and sugar beet. And our good friend carrots is back again. But I don't really mind with the carrots because we have the big harvester now, so there's no problem with doing root crops now. But the only thing I've done since the last episode was just put lime on this field. Believe it or not, it was the only field that was low. And it didn't actually take that much. It was down a little bit, but I just decided just to do it anyway. It used very little out of the spreader to do it. So yeah, we're kind of moved on now to planting season. The animals are going okay. The livestock, our pigs, of course, they're all still very young. Our Highland cattle, of course, they're fine. We've very little to do with them because they're beef cattle. We don't need to be taking milk out or anything like that. You know, I took it because it was the easy option, but also because I wasn't going to get any money out of them until well after this challenge is done. And that's why I decided to just put them in. I want to put them in there because I have money sitting in the bank, and money sitting in the bank is not making you money, that kind of way. So that's the kind of approach I take to it. Might as well be dead money if it's sitting in the bank, especially in this game. You don't get any interest, so you might as well spend it. Have we got the crop centre on? It comes on automatically, I think, when you're using the seeder, but we're getting a nice green pattern behind us, so it's laying down the fertiliser that's needed on this. So right, just jump into the map and I'll just show you. So this is our first field here on this one, on number 43. Then we've all of these to get done over this side of the farm, and then we have, this is our corn and our sugar beet down here, and the mustard field is 103, and then the other ones are over here, 160, 177, 63 is already sown, and 66 isn't sown. 66 is spelt. Let's go on into that. So is it our first time actually sown spelt ourselves? I think it actually is. I think we did. Yeah, maybe it is. Not too sure. I'm just trying to cover off most crops. As regards to the crop rotation, I had thought about changing it and going and doing some of the crops we still haven't covered yet, but they are coming up in time, and I'd love to go back and do. I want to get watching out for a cotton harvester if we have the money. So one of the modded ones. If not, I'm hoping to have 450,000 or 465, I think it is, so we can. Did I dip into that field? No, just on the roadway. I'm just trying not to do that anymore. Want to try do the bales of lavender, which will mean we need to get the local, which is the lavender dryer. Is it a production on its own? Yeah, lavender dryer. It's a production on its own. I'd like to try that just to see. Whether it's worthwhile or not, that's another thing. But at least we want to just tick the box and say, like, we've done it on the map. It's part of this map. It's a additional crop that the mother has created, and it would have been on, what was it, the other one that was doing, they had Sibakova, was it? That Greeniac done as well, and I was on that, but I never got around to doing it before I lost the save when something updated. That's gone back a while ago anyway. Nearly had my challenge finished on that map, and I think I'd only probably 2 episodes left to go, and then something went wrong with the game saves I had. Anyway, that's in the past. You won't find them videos if you go looking for them, because I started over again, a new set completely. So 10 fields to get in. Take a little bit of time. The snow is to disappear. It's not here all day. It should start disappearing. We're on 3 degrees now. I don't know exactly what temperature it is. It starts to go, but it will. All of a sudden you'll just see it spreading across the map, and it'll just clear. So we're just going to work our way through these fields. I'll bring you back from time to time as we're going through them. In March, there's the bulk of them are in March. We have corn, soybeans, carrots have to be done in April, but the rest of them will be done in March. So I'm just going to work away on this. When I finish this, I get the New Holland. I think it's over, and the other farmer didn't bring it back. I'll stick the ground roller on it, and I'll put an AI worker on just to do the rolling on these, because that'll complete the job. And I've enough to be going on with doing the sown myself. Got the first field finished, and I brought the New Holland back over, put the roller on. Now we're seeing the hardship of having fields all over the map, because I have to drive down to the end here, then I have to go over the far side, and then up the top of the map. So I'm not that's the way it worked out with both with the triple threat challenge and taking all the flax fields, and then with me taking my millet fields. So I have to go down to 103 and put we're putting wheat into it. That's a field. Oh yeah, there's a change there, because it didn't get the crop out of it in time to put canola in last year. So it ended up that it has it had beans in it. So it was to be a canola field. So we just substituted it with wheat. And there, I'm not looking at what I'm doing, where I've gone past the turn, and of course, a van came up behind me. I need to do a UE. I was looking at my crop list, because this turn is hard to spot at the best of times. We're just there now. We're just back into it now in a second. You'd nearly go past it when you're coming up to it. Very hard to see. It's just in here. You kind of watch out for the tire tracks on the road. So we've wheat gone in here as well, and then of course all the fields beside the farm all require a planter, even though some of them have to go in this time. They do require a planter. So what I'm doing is getting rid of all the crops that require a seeder first, and then we'll hook up the planter, and we'll get going with, I think it's sunflower is the first one beside us, where we need the planter rather than the seeder. And I hate this where the texture only barely changes, but we'll be alright. We'll get it all anyway. You can see the green pattern anyway on the map. So yeah, just that's the beauty of running not being able to choose your own fields, and that you end up, it's like the way farms do be. Okay, they'll have the majority fields probably close to their farm, but then the rest of them be spread out wherever they could actually afford to buy a field. When, say, they were expanding, when the farm was being was new or whatever. So it's kind of similarities there. Like the minute I looked at it and seen how far I had to drive for the next lot, like the next field of the sown isn't that far away, but I need a planter. And I need a vegetable planter then to do the carrot field, which is down the other end as well. And things like that. So it gives me a lot of variety in the sowing season, the same as it does in harvesting season. Now, it'd be easy enough for me to just say, here to hell with this, and put wheat and barley and canola and all the regular ones in the fields and just make it easy so I can go with a combine from one field to the next. Don't have to be loading the header up and driving all the way up to the other end of the map. But no, I didn't want it that way. I wanted it to be kind of like it is in real life with a lot of farmers, that their fields would be spread out across. They'd have a group together close to their farm, but they might have other ones spread out, and that's kind of the way we are. And after all, it is only a standard size map, so it's not that far. It'd be a different thing if it was a 4X, then I could have something to complain about. So yeah, I'll have to keep an eye to make sure I fill up with fertiliser as well, because there's only when I got down here I passed by it and I thought, you know what, you should have topped it off going through the yard. But however, we've enough to get this done anyway. Might have to put something in it before we go to the next field, which is 177. It's over the far side. I'll get this one knocked out now and then we'll move on. On the third field now, there's mustard going in. I think this is the first time I ever sown mustard. I sowed the cover crop alright, but I don't recall doing mustard before. So yeah, the fields are small. We're getting through them fairly quick. It's just the driving between them is taking as long as it does to do the field. I moved the New Holland down with the roller down to the last field I was doing, 103. He's rolling that now. And yeah, I'm just working my way around the map on the ones that we have to get done with the seeder, and then we'll hook up the planter and go and do our sunflower field first beside the farm. I did buy some fertiliser on the way past the dealership, and I did top off the fertiliser tank because it was quicker than going through the farm, and there'll be enough in it now to do this field and the next one we have to do up the top, which is only a small field. There's our big pig farm, stroke cow farm, cattle farm, Highland cattle on that. Beef farm, yeah, that's the best way to describe it. I was going to do the driveway, do something different. I may well still do it, just to make it look different. The Polish fences, you tend to get very stylish ones, even on the map. They're fairly stylish when you go into the build mode and have a look at them. I was thinking of just lining the roadway down. I don't know whether I can or not, because I don't know if I own the land or I'm able to place. I'll probably be able to place on it. I don't know. And I hear you saying, have you not got enough work to do without putting fences on the on that laneway leading up to the farm? Yeah, I have. I don't know how this yields. I don't know. There is a production. There is something you can do with. Let's have a look. Is it in preserved food? Is there something you can do with mustard? No. Not in the bakery. As an ingredient, no. It wouldn't be in the dairy anyway. No, I don't know. Maybe it's not on this map. Maybe it's on something else. Yeah, no, there's nothing there. I thought there might have been a production linked to the mustard. So it must be a case of, I'll tell you what, the easy way to do that is go down to, there's mustard. Valuable enough. We go to the other products. Now something could come up here if I had a mod installed that will do it. It will actually list it. It might be part of the map, which would mean you need to put production down to get it. No, there's nothing came up there. Okay. Okay, so I guess all we're going to do is we're going to sell it when we harvest it and see what we get. This is a very small field anyway. I'm not expecting to get an awful lot out of it, but I wonder what the return would be like for the amount of seed and fertiliser that goes in, but I'm not really going into that detail. It's you want to be writing down what's in your tank before you start, and both seed and fertiliser, and working back then and see what you have when you're finished and how much went into the field and how much did that cost you. And yeah, life's too short. Having said that, now I'm sure there's some people love that stuff and would have it worked out and have spreadsheets and all. I do spreadsheets for certain things, but it's a lot of detail to go into. I suppose if you were only on one, if you owned one farm and you're a real farmer in real life, you would probably go into that detail of how much every field is costing you to sow, and you could do it. You could do it on the map. It just would take a lot of paperwork other than playing the game, just to keep a track on it. Then again, as I said, if you worked it out on an Excel spreadsheet and you had a way of calculating the litres of seed and all that, you'd be able to just put in the table and it would give you the full list for each field. Nothing's impossible nowadays. As you can see, this field will not take long to do. And then we're moving up to spelt going into 66. Unfortunately, that's the field we ploughed the cotton back into the ground because we couldn't get the cotton harvester. We will do cotton eventually. What'll happen is the harvest will come up in the second-hand market when we haven't got the money, because we won't be tight on money. We will have money the next couple of months, but we won't have the big money until we start selling off the products down the road. So right, I'll wrap the rest of this up and get this guy up to the other field and get the roller up here to do this, and then I think that's all. Just stopping while I'm checking this. Yeah, when the spelt is done, we're on to the planter then for the rest of the crops. Once we do the spelt field, which is up the top of the map, and then we'll be on the planter then for the last few fields that need to be done before we move forward into April, and then we'll have we have any, we've sunflowers to do with this, and sugar beets with the planter. So it's good that you do the crop rotation, because you have to switch equipment and you can't just do it all with the seeder. Now granted, if I had the momentum, the Valtra momentum seeder, it does everything. You wouldn't need to change anything. You just go around and do all the crops. But now we want to do it a little bit more realistic. There you go. I kept you in for the whole field. Last run. Just shows you it doesn't take too long. 7 minutes 20 seconds on the clock for this segment. So there you go. It doesn't take long to do the fields. It really doesn't. And that's the beauty of the Polish maps, the small fields. I have this done. I will talk to you probably when I have the planter on the back of the tractor and we're getting the sunflowers in the field up beside the farm. Okay, a worker doing the rolling on this. This tractor's starting to look a little bit beat up. 84.2 hours on it. So he's, I just move him up because it doesn't always work with the AI to get between the fields. Have some pallet of milk again. Okay, are we on? It is on, isn't it? It is sown. It's just it doesn't go green. It's a different type of planter. Yeah, sunflowers. Sunflowers gone into this field, and then at the bottom of this field we have our soybeans. Not soybeans, sugar beet to go in. Down where we bought the fields for the food, for the pig food. We were sugar beet to go in down there, and then we're done with our crops for March. We're going to be moving on then to next month, and we'll get our crops in then for April. How many fields have we got done so far? Oh, losing track here. We got 1, 2. Oh, I bypassed that one. 160 as well. I'm after missing out. I'll have to go back over. 160 is... No, that's next month. That's carrots. That's okay. So, 1, 2, 3. This will be 4 and 5. So we'll have 5 then to do next month. So, I don't mind. We're getting through them. Like, in real time, it's taking a bit of time. But, you know, it's... I like this part of the year. I really do. I like getting the crops in the field. And then looking forward to the harvest time when it comes around. They're the two main things I really enjoy about the game. But who doesn't? Then the other part I enjoy selling off all the stuff and getting lots of money. But yeah, just this is a fairly big field. It's going to take a bit of time to do it with this this planter, but you know, it's grand. I don't know whether it's the next field is the one we're putting, that one there right in front of us, I think is the one we're putting the sugar bean into. And then the next one over, that's 2 fields we combined. The next one over then is going to be the corn. So that's next month. So great variety in the crops, and yeah, great variety as sizes of the fields. We're into the big ones now. These are always going to be the big fields, and this is where I think if I'm buying fields now, it's along this band. Let me get this locked in and I'll pull up the map. It's this, like we have that. We did by 108, 10, 11 and 13, and that's this whole band down here. So I think they're going to be our next targets. Then we'll probably work up this way to continue on out there. And then, of course, we have these. So hopefully we're going to own this block. Maybe everything inside that. Well, we're going to buy the horse farm. So, yeah, maybe everything inside the Black Road. Eventually. And that's more than enough because I won't have time to do anything else, only stay on Wallace Aberesca. And that's not happening. Bigger fields, bigger equipment, merge the fields. Farmer Mike suggested I merge the fields. I know he's right. We do have a lot of fields that have telegraph poles and power lines between them. We can't merge them, but there's a lot of fields we could merge and make into big fields. And you know what? That may well happen towards the end of this playthrough on it. Yeah. But for now, we're still going. We're in year 5 on the crop rotation on quite a few of the fields, and then year 6 we've done 6-year crop rotation. So if we can get a lot of them up to year 6, then I will say yeah, great, we've done the crop rotation. But we're looking at, like, I mean, that's 2 years away. So it says year 6 on the calendar, but the crop rotation is actually year 5 for the ones we have done every year. The other ones weren't done every year because we didn't actually own them when we started in the first year, because we had to buy them as we went along. So they kind of fell into place. There were a lot of fields that were only bought, say, 2 years ago in the game, so they're a bit behind with the crop rotation lists. Yeah. This tractor's not far behind the New Holland either. I think I said I'd like to get a replacement for this 260 horsepower Fendt, a 740 I think it is, or something like that is the number on it. I think it's 265 horsepower or 760, something like that. Anyway, I'll crack on and get this field in, get it done. And yeah, I'll give you an update. I tell you what I'll do, I'll give you an update when we get into April. We got all our March sowing done, and I can't see with the fog. I sold off with 40 grand's worth of goat milk. So these pallets have finally come to their high price. It's about 10 grand. I had the 2 pallets sitting there for so long. Exactly, that's all I have, because I just set the rest that was in there to sell. So I cleared out what was in the spinnery because we might not be putting anything else in there again. Oh, these are 10 grand, is it? Yeah, 10 plus environmental score. So just under 12,000. 11,600. So we're going to get stuck into our April crops, which is our corn, soybeans. What else have we got? Carrots. Lovely. That's it, is it? Lentils. I knew there was something else. Now, this is our field. Let me show you on the map. This is our field that put a sugar beet in there. Oh, he planted sugar beet. Lovely. Might rob that field if we need it. We won't. We've loads of sugar beet. I was thinking of putting corn in here. And I think that'll do us. I was wondering whether I should maybe swap the lentils around, put the lentils in there and put the corn in the bigger field. Because that's what we ran out of in the pig food mix last time. Maybe that's the better option. Because we kind of need a bit of space. But, look, I'll have a look at it. We'll see. We need to go on... don't drive in our field. It's our field. Thankfully, crop destruction's not on it yet. That's our... What did we sow there last year? That's our... I can't even remember what I put in the field. I only done it. Sunflowers. Okay. Only done it. So, yeah, let me get organised. We're up to 109,000. There's very little going out anyway. A little bit of production cost and that's it. And I have to remember not to park this beside where it'll pick up from the goat milk, because I ended up with a lot of pallets on the truck when I left it there and I hadn't gone out of the game that had very little milk in them. They weren't 1,000 litre pallets. That's why the truck looked great. It looked like there was loads there, and we're okay for water. I checked that when I came in, the bed floating again. There you go. Yeah, right. We're going to get these last few fields done. So we've these two together, and these two, and 160, and that's it. So we've 4. Is that it? They're the only ones that are ours, yeah. The other ones are sown. Okay. Right. So what was the one closest to the farm that's not sown? That would be 112. And 112 is soybeans. Okay, let's go do that. Now, I filled it and all. It is full. Check why soybeans. I always go past it. I'm going past it again. Slowly, sorghum, sunflower, soybeans. So, with soybeans going in here, it's a pretty decent field. Make a start on this now. I keep searching for the green to come on and it never comes on. Because it doesn't, it's not a power planter, it just goes on the... Well, they're all not power planters, but most of them light up green when you're seeding. I think there's a problem with my controller because I keep trying to lock in cruise control and I think it's locked in and then it stops. Anyway, we're on the last leg. We're getting, of course we're going to get no change in fertilisation state because soybeans don't require any fertiliser. So it'll actually show us that it's over, if anything. Yeah. Weeds need... there's weeds in here again. Okay, we'll have a look at that too. Right, let me get this done and I'll update you what we're going to do, whether we're going to swap the corn and the lentils around. I'll have to check the size of the field, see what the difference is. Stick to the plan. We're putting our corn in where we said. We put our lentils over in the other field. They're just behind us. The tractor's rolling the field. We just put the soybeans in. So we're going to be done in no time. We're going to be done with April pretty quick. We just have to look after the goats. If the goats weren't making me so much money, I'd actually sell them. Should have replaced them. Well, I sell the goats and get sheep instead, and then do wool for a bit. Because we're kind of at that point now where we've stocked up with 514 goats. And if we do sheep, we could put the wool in the spinnery that we own. Now there's a thought. Oh yeah, I think we're going to do that. Change the pace. We were considering buying the dairy to deal with the goat milk, but we already have the spinnery, so I think we might do that. Do you know that? We'll stick 100 sheep in there. Sell the goats, we'll make a fortune out of them, that's the only thing. And stick the sheep in there instead and make fabric at the spinnery. Since all we've been doing with the goat milk is selling it. At this stage, like, I mean, hindsight, when we got the spinnery for the flax, I should have changed over then, really, because it would have been more profitable to do that. We'd always put a mix. Sell half the goats. But they'll keep reproducing, that's the problem. Anyway, yeah, we're going to be done. We've one more field to do after this, and then we're done with our spring sown. So I'll get on with it. And yeah, I'm going to think about the goats now while I'm doing this. There you go. I've given myself another headache. We have weeds in the field we just sown. Now, I don't know whether it works to spray them. Now, I'm going to try it anyway. I've never done it this early. I've normally waited for them to come up further. Now, I'll just show you. The small weeds growing. Growth. They're there somewhere. There you go. They're coming up weeder. If you use a weeder, a mechanical weeder on precision farming, you actually do lose some of your environmental score. So that's why I'm not using it. Now, let's see. Let's see what happens. Now, sprayer is turned on, but nothing is coming out. So I assume it's not working. Let's go behind it. No, we're still getting weeds. Use a weeder. So I have to wait probably until next month. Okay. Just I needed to put my mind, I won't say at rest. I need to just get the information into my head that no, you can't spray straight away. I've seen people doing it without precision farming where they'd spray straight away. I don't know whether it works then. Maybe they have to be bigger weeds for the seek and spray to actually detect them. I don't know, is that the way it works? But we'll leave it there. We'll try it when we move forward next month. We should get bigger weeds so we know. It's just they look unsightly in the field, but I don't care once they're dead, to be honest with you. So yeah, that's leave it there. Even though I was using that tractor around the corner, it doesn't matter. I've parked up. I've washed the planter. I've parked up. Now, a couple of things I'm thinking. Let's turn back on all the crops. We have absolutely useless onions everywhere because I'm not harvesting them ever. I've done it on Kinlake and it's just one of those things. I might try it again at some stage, but not on this map. I was actually considering buying this field and ploughing it in and putting corn in it so we have our feed for our pigs. Corn is in one or two other fields. I think that's one there. And there's one other one right down the corner. I checked just to see, but I did say I would buy fields near the production if I thought we needed more of the crops to keep the feed mix going for the pigs. So I'm going to consider that, the possibility of buying it. I'm going to get the lentils done now. The New Holland's down, rolling the cornfield we just done. And this, oh, that's brutal driving. I was watching the pallet and I didn't realise it was so close to the actual seeder. Now, what have I to do? Change the seed to, we're putting in lentils, isn't it? First time to do lentils. Might have harvested them on as part of a contract. I've never actually sown them. And I'm after dropping off the planter, and they have to be done with the planter. Yeah, there you go. That's what I mean. First time I've ever done them. I didn't actually realise I had the right piece of equipment on. So, yeah, this is the last field. Last field we got to do. And going to consider what I said about the goats. Let's park this for a minute. Right, we leave that there. Let's go have a look. Because all I'm doing is selling the... Where is our animal trigger? There it is. Okay, we've 100 at 2 months. Where are the oldest? 36 with 50. I'd like half and half if I was doing it. So we get rid of the 100. Get rid of the 2 lots of older goats. See, then there's no guarantee that the goats won't have offspring before the sheep, but then I could just sell them. At least with sheep, then they're going to produce wool we can put in the spinnery. Problems when you've too much. It's always the same. Anyway, let me get these lentils in and then I'll have a think about it and I'll update you then. Lentils going in, and it didn't take me long to make my mind up. I think I'll swap out the goats and put in sheep instead. Might as well, since I have the spinnery and it's doing nothing. Other thing too, you can see our other tractor over in the field over there spraying. All our fields we've done that since we moved on from March into April, all have weeds in them. Well, that's normal course with direct drilling anyway. So I've put the fence out on the field with a worker just to spray that one, just to see does it do it right. I just noticed that when I came down the end here in the sugar beet field, there's weeds, which we done as well. Now I haven't looked at the barley field was ploughed. The corn field wasn't fully ploughed. It was ploughed, the line in the centre, it was ploughed the year before. The field where I was trying to spray wasn't ploughed last year, so I'm gonna have to check them all. They probably all have weeds in them, but that's why we bought that fence, and we've the spot spray the whole lot on, so it's going to use very little herbicide at all doing it, and I just let him trundle away. Just pay the worker to do it. You can see the money going down paying these workers, so we'll hang on the corn, buying another field and putting it in. I think what I will do is, I think I'll have a think about the goats and the sheep, and I'm going to do it in this month. I hate doing it when I talk about doing it. I hate leaving it then and losing a month out. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to finish off what we're doing here with regards our fields, getting them sowed and that, get a couple of fields sprayed and that, and we're going to finish up this episode. But we will come back in the next one in April still, and we'll sort out the goats, we'll sort out the sheep, we'll sort out what we're doing that end of it. There's no point in rushing trying to fit it in on the video that's already pushing on for 40 minutes long plus, so I think that's long enough. I always come up with the ideas near the end of a recording. I always come up with something because I'm thinking about it while I'm working on it, and I've been working on this for in real time quite a few hours. It's taken to get everything that we were doing done, and I just, while I'm doing work myself, I'm always thinking, how can we progress, in what areas can we progress? And I know the farmer's making loads of money and is going to make loads of money. The goats or the pigs are going to multiply. We're going to reach our goal on that end, but I still like to treat it as if the challenge is there to make the farm as successful as possible. So with that in mind, I'm just going to keep plugging away. And I noticed the lentils are using an awful lot of seed, as this was full, so I'm going to have to refill it. Definitely going to have to refill it. So what I might do is I might grab the New Holland and go up and put the platform on it and throw 2 pallets of seed onto the platform and bring it down, instead of having to drive back to the yard, even though we'll be right beside the yard. I'd never used the platform, that's the thing, once in a blue moon. Anyway guys, thanks a million for joining me again on Wallace Avaresca on the Triple Threat channels. The Triple Threat Challenge. It's a bit of a tongue twister for me, maybe not for everyone. And we're on episode number, I've forgotten, 35. Episode number 35. Yeah, I did say we'll make it to 40 anyway. I think we might make it beyond 40 episodes if you're willing to stick with me that long. Other plans I've made, I have outlined before in previous episodes. They have not gone away. I'm still considering a little bit of forestry work, primarily because I want to build a bridge out to the island, or out to the other side where the big forests are, and do it in that area. That's probably the only reason. There is other forest plots around that I could do it easier, but I'd just like to do a construction of a bridge across to it maybe, so we'll probably continue until we do that as well. The challenge will probably be well done by then, but we'll stay on the map for a while. Anyway, for now, rambling again. As I said, thanks a million for joining me. We're done and dusted. Another episode on Wallace Avaresca. And yeah, as per usual, hit that like button on your way out. If you're still here, you're an absolute legend. And subscribe, not just for what's going on this challenge, but for the Hamlet and for La Meche and future endeavours we have coming down the road. So all that's left for me to do for now, until next time, is to say goodbye for now. Until then, bye bye.